Welcome to Wombat Hollow Crafts. I'm Gail. This is my corner of the YouTube universe where I talk about all my crafts, and we're here for a monthly crafting update. So today it's Sunday, it is the 1st of June 2025, and we're here to do an update and a catch up on what I've gotten up to in the month of May. I hope you've had a productive stitching and crafting month for the month of May. I certainly have. So let's get right into it. So for the month of May, I started out the month with 18 WIPs. I've had 2 starts, 3 finishes, no FFOs. I've worked on a total of 7 projects and I ended up the month with 17 WIPs, which is really, really great. So yeah, 17 WIPs in total, which is fantastic. So sorry, I've got one of my dogs here. This is Ollie. Ollie's being very needy this morning, very sooky, very needy. So let's get into it. So if you're a first time watcher, welcome. If you're a regular subscriber, thanks so much for coming back. So this year I'm stitching Christmas all year round. So it's hashtag Christmas 365 in 2025. And here we are now, it's beginning of June, 5 months in, and I'm still sticking to Christmas only. So it's been really good. It's been working out really, really well so far. So I am doing a rotation. So I'm stitching on one project from the 1st to the 7th, another project from the 8th to the 14th, then another one 15th to the 21st, and then 22nd to the 28th, and any of the days in the month, 29th through to the 30th or 31st, I go back to the first week's project. So if those projects aren't finished during the course of that week, they just get brought over to the following month. So he's been very, very needy this morning. He's very cute, but he's when he gets in these moods, he's very, very needy. So I had a focus project for this year. It was the Yuletide Garden Labyrinth by Carolyn Manning Designs. This was started on the 1st of January 2024 with my gorgeous friends, the Rebel Stitchers. Hi, ladies. And one of the beautiful ladies in the group, Jenny, has already finished hers. Now, the really lovely thing about this is we're all stitching it on completely different fabric. So Jenny stitched hers on a beautiful, if I remember rightly, it was like a beautiful soft sage green. Michelle decided to go with a different Carolyn Manning. Here's Ollie. Michelle decided to go with a different Carolyn Manning design. I think hers was done on a really beautiful like purple colour. She did like a Halloween piece. Nicole's is doing hers on a hand-dyed beautiful like deep blue colour, absolutely gorgeous. And Leanne's is stitching hers on a beautiful like really like again a piece of Nicole's fabric, a dark green dyed fabric, absolutely beautiful, beautiful. I decided to go with 28 count even weave in the colorway Vanilla Latte from Jay's X Stitch. Jay sells her fabric on Etsy. You can get her fabric from Etsy. She is a local dyer in the Illawarra in New South Wales. Well, I'm not in New South Wales anymore. I'm in South Australia, but still getting used to that. But yeah, she sells beautiful fabric. So go to her Etsy store and try and get some of her pieces. But enough yabbering, let's show some stitching. So this is a Yuletide Garden Labyrinth by Carolyn Manning Designs. I purchased this chart as a downloadable PDF from the Carolyn Manning website. So this is being stitched, as I said, on 28 count Vanilla Latte 28 count even weave. I need coffee. Can you tell it's early in the morning here? Yeah. And if you can hear that, that's the 2 boys because they want treats. They've had treats this morning. I've got both Monty and Ollie here. They want treats. They've had treats this morning and they're like, we want more treats. We want more treats. Do you want more treats? Yeah. Let's see. Ollie's like, Mum, give us more treats. Give us more treats. You can once I finish the video. You just have to be patient. Okay? You'll get more treats after the video. I know it's hard. It's hard to wait. It's hard to wait, but you've got to wait. Okay? I know. Just be a good boy and just wait. Good boy. Okay. So 28 count Even Weave in the colourway Vanilla Latte from Jay's X Stitch. And here it is. So this was my focus piece for this year. I did want to get this finished, so that's my goal ticked off for this year. So let me bring this in closer for you so you can see it. I love the colours in this one. I love anything symmetrical, even if I do have to stitch the same thing like 3 or 4 times. It is beautiful. Look at those colours. Those colours are absolutely gorgeous. Love it. Just love it. There you go. There's a whole piece for you. So that is Yuletide Garden Labyrinth by Carolyn Manning Designs. And because I finished that and I still had a few more days to go during the course of the month, I pulled out an old WIP, and it was Winter White Santa by Mirabilia. Now, this is my first I've been stitching for well over 30 years, and this is the first Mirabilia that I've ever stitched. Whilst I admire the fancy ladies, I've never really had any desire to stitch any. So I have 2 Mirabilia charts in my stash. I have this one and I have Santa's List. So myself and my gorgeous stitchy friend Therese, hey Therese, I miss you. Therese is in New South Wales, and we used to have regular catch-ups, and now I'm in South Australia and I don't get to see her, but she was lovely. She helped me out the other evening, on Friday evening. I was having a bit of a down point with this. So when I pulled this out, I'd only just started stitching this. I had very few stitches in, maybe like 50 stitches, if that. And I think I was down about it because I didn't have a plan. I didn't have a POA, a plan of attack for stitching. She gave me a bit of a pep talk, which is really, really good. And I think too, because the chart was so unwieldy, and I haven't stitched with unwieldy charts for a long time. It's been a long time. So I slept on it, and I have a plan of attack. But this is where I'd like to get your point of view, my lovely, lovely subscribers. For those of you that stitch Mirabilia, do you go into it with a plan of attack on how to stitch it? When I stitch most of my pieces, I go in with a plan as to how I'm going to stitch them. And I follow that sort of basic roadmap. And I think that's how I get to stitch so quickly, because I form a roadmap in my head as I'm stitching other parts, and then I just flow from there. And I think that's what was stopping me with this piece. My thoughts on this is I'm going to stitch the top half, all of the DMC. There is a Karen's Water Lily thread. So there's a couple of, it's mostly in this Christmas tree here. So that Christmas tree, it's mostly in there. So I'm going to stitch those next. Then I'm going to stitch all of the Krynic. There's lots and lots of Krynic metallic threads in this one. And then I'm going to bead. So I'm going to have the top half completely done. And then I'm going to move down and do the bottom half same way. Because the bottom, all of the fur trim on the bottom of his coat is all whisper threads. So again, my plan is when I get to the bottom is to stitch all of the DMC, then do the Karen's Water Lily, because that's all in the tree, then do the Krynic, then do the whisper thread last, do the bit of back, because all the bottom of his coat is all back stitched, and these presents under that tree, they're all back stitched as well, and then bead. There are tons of beads in this, and there's tons of Krynic. So is that the way that you would tackle it? I'd really, really love your opinion and any recommendations that you have. If you can put it down in the comments, that would be greatly, greatly appreciated. But I picked this up, and after a pep talk from my beautiful stitching friend Therese, I got on and did a little bit more. So this, I'm stitching this on a piece of 32 count. Oh, it's Fabric Flare. I bought it from Garon Stitchery. I forget what the name of it is. Anyway, let's show it. So this is where I'm up to so far. When I first picked it up, I just had these little ribbons of
not this bottom ribbon, but I just had those top 2 ribbons of red. So I've done all of this week. So I really like this one, this fabric, because it looked like a winter snowstorm. It's really dark at the top and it's virtually like white at the bottom. So I really like that. So yeah, that's where we're up to with this one. So that's his beard. That's like the bottom part of his beard. That's the cuff of his coat. That's where the bird's going to go. So you can sort of see where I'm up to. So we'll stitch on that more today because that's being stitched from the 1st through to the 7th. Okay, week 2. But firstly, coffee. We must have coffee. Oh, I'd be lost without coffee. Okay, week 2, another finish. Yay! So week 2, I had been stitching the Shannon Christine Gingerbread Express, which is 9 different charts. And while I'm onto this, a huge thank you to Adelaide. Hey Adelaide from Adelaide Stitches. She gave me a shout out in one of her videos when she was doing her focus on designers, and I had a big intake of subscribers. I had something like 20 new subscribers, which for me is huge because, you know, I don't get that many extra subscribers. So thank you so much for mentioning me, Adelaide. And I finished. And Adelaide, if you stitch this, you won't be disappointed. I've stitched mine on black, but my gorgeous friend Therese is stitching this as well. And she's stitching it on a beautiful, like pale green, almost like the same color as my hoodie. That pale green, and it's beautiful. So Adelaide, whatever color you decide to stitch it on, go for it. It's a beautiful piece. But I stitched mine on black, and both my friend Therese and I, we stitched it all as one piece. Now, Adelaide, just to give you a heads up, you said that you'd have to do a gap between each one. You don't, because the charts are actually made so that they are stitched together. So the little red and white candy stripe linkage down below, they all link together. So you don't have to leave any gaps or anything like that. They all come along, and I'll show you what I mean. So this was stitched on 28 count black even weave using all the recommended DMC threads, full cross, 2/2. The only thing I did is I changed the French knots for little pearl seed beads. So that's where we're at. That's what it looks like. So I'm going to end up FFOing this as a flat fold and have it propped up on a shelf for Christmas time. But let's get in here so you can see this. So I changed a couple of these around. So we've got the engine. It was really fun to stitch. This little penguin was so adorable. Now I think in the original chart, as I said, I swapped a couple around. That's really cute, the little cupcake, the reindeer. And these would be really cute to stitch on their own as ornaments. Now in the original chart, this was the one that was supposed to be the end. But I thought, no, it's a Gingerbread Express, so the gingerbread house should be at the end. So I swapped that around and put that one at the end. But as you can see, Adelaide, if you're watching this, these little red and white stitches down the bottom. On each, this one is the end one, so that one doesn't have any at the end, but all of the others have them, and you don't leave any spaces, you just follow on. So there you go, Gingerbread Express. So that was my second finish for the month. So because I finished that, I jumped onto a new piece, and this one I have been hanging out to start this one. This is Jim Shore, The 12 Days of Christmas, Jim Shore and Mill Hill. There are lots and lots of there's lots and lots of beads. Hello, it's a Mill Hill. So there's no Krynic, but there is lots and lots of Mill Hill beads. I'm not sure if you can see, but each one of these, in fact, you can probably see it better on the back. Each one of these have got a handmade Jim Shore button. Now, these are really hard to get now. Thankfully, I have been in the plans of stitching this for a really, really long time. So over the years, I have collected all of the buttons, so I have them all. But I'm not stitching mine as one piece. I am stitching mine on 12 different pieces, and yeah, I'm going to make them into pillows. So being stitched on 32 count, I think it is. I do apologise. I don't have my book here up here with me at the moment. I'm just trying to see, where did I... Yes, a 32 count lamb's wool, linen. And I've still got it in the Q-snap because I couldn't stitch it in the Q-snap originally because the border, oh look, let's just show it so you can see it. All right, so what I've done, I've gone around and I've stitched the yellow border all in its entirety. As you can see, it's all stitched. But to stitch this border, I couldn't have it in this Q-snap because it was not big enough. So I stitched the border, and I really like stitching with hoops, so then I put it in the hoop. So I'm not going to take it out of the hoop because right now it is drum tight, which is how I really like to do my stitching. And yeah, so I'm in the middle of stitching the partridge in the pear tree, and that's where we're up to. I really love stitching, so I didn't want to put it down. So that is the first day of the 12 Days of Christmas by Jim Shore and Mill Hill. And then week 3, another finish. I pulled this out of my stash. It's a kit I'd had for a very long time by Vervico Gnome Christmas Cushion. So this is stitched on canvas using like acrylic wool, but it's still cross stitch. I have stitched the other one in this series, and it's that one. So I've already stitched and finished that, but I haven't FFA'd that either. But this was really fun to stitch. So that's all finished. So I'll try and give you a close up so you can see. So hopefully once we get everything unpacked, I have unpacked a couple of bags of stuff, as you can see, but we're still waiting on cabinetry and stuff, so I can't unpack everything, but at least I've got some stuff in the shelves here. So that's all done. We'll be able to FFO him into a cushion. And again, because I finished him during the course of the week, I had more time. I went on to another series. Can you tell I love a good settle series, I really do. My lovely friend over in Canada, Chris. Hi, Chris. She's a girl after my own heart. She loves a good settle series. So I've got the set for Little House Needleworks Log Cabin Quilt. I'm starting on the 5th chart, the one in the middle, because I'm stitching this all on one piece, and I'm going to make it into a cushion. Now, I have already, I did the Glitter House series. I also did the Farmhouse Christmas series, finished those into cushions, Christmas cushions, and I'm going to do the same thing for this one here. In fact, I don't have the cushions are packed, but I'll try and find them out for next update, and I can show you what those are. But that's the one I'm doing now. So that's the quilt. Again, this is stitched on 32 count lamb's wool, natural linen. It's all been stitched on one piece using the recommended DMC full cross 2/2. And that's where we're up to with that one. Again, I love stitching these. I just get into the zone when I'm stitching these, and away I go. So that's where we're up to with that one. And then lucky last is the 4th week's stitching. I am currently stitching Jolly Stocking by Doreen Jones. This is purchased as a downloadable PDF chart from the Doreen Jones Etsy store. And I'm stitching this on 14 count black Ada using all the recommended DMC full cross 2/2. Hello, sweetheart. Mr. Ollie's back again. Again, this is in the Q snap. I'm not going to move it because I have it just in the right spot for where I need to. If you want to have a look at the top half of where I'd stitched, you can have a look at last month's update. But this is where we're up to. So what I did this month, I filled in the rest of his beard. Oh, that was a mammoth task. All of those whites, look at all those white stitches. Oh, it was a mammoth task. And I'm really pleased with how well they're sitting. They're sitting really, really well. It's horrible with white stitches to get them to sit right, but I tend to use my fingers as a laying tool subconsciously as I stitch, and I think that helps with the white stitches sitting so nicely. Yeah, they turned out really nice. And then I've started on his jacket. So the reason why I haven't moved him out of the Q-snap is I'm doing the jacket, the other hand in his present, so I'll get onto that next month. All right, so that's where we're at stitching wise, all the updates, etc. Plans. So next month, or this month, we're already in June. So this month is a busy month. I actually have a catch up to go to in the middle of the month. I was lucky enough to manage to get a ticket to the Sunday Stitches, the SA catch up here. That's in the middle of June at Mawson Lake. So it's going to be really, really great to be able to go there and to meet up with some South Australian stitchers. So, you know, hopefully find some stitchers that are close to me so that we can, you know, maybe catch up on a weekend, you know, once a month or something like that as an impromptu little like cross stitch catch up. That would be really great. I'm finding that I'm really missing my Wednesday night catch ups. When I was in New South Wales, I'd go to my L&S for every Wednesday night for a stitching catch up, and I did that for 20 years, and I'm missing that. I'm really missing that. So it's difficult. Like, I know friends have sent through groups, stitching groups, but they catch up during the week, and I work full time, so I can't do that. But it would be really, really nice to be able to meet up with some local stitchers and have a catch up, like, you know, a little impromptu catch up once a month, something like that. So hopefully, yeah, I'll be able to meet some stitchers that are close by. I know Kelly from Animal Instincts lives close by. So, you know, maybe we might be able to have a catch up every now and then. That would be great. But other than that, for me, oh my goodness, excuse you. He talks. Can you tell? What's wrong? Hey? Sookie boy. Yeah, other than that, it's just work. Shane's in Sydney at the moment. Well, might as well delve into life. Nothing has gone on with the house as yet. We're still waiting on different quotes for custom cabinetry, etc. As I said, I was able to unpack a couple of bags. Other than that, you know, everything's still packed, but, you know, we're settling into the house really well. It is starting to turn. The weather's starting to get chilly here. We had a really, really bad dust storm here the other day. I've never seen anything like it. I was supposed to go out and go to the chemist and grab some medication, but I wasn't even going to attempt to drive. You couldn't even see, the warehouse is like 500 meters away, like from the front of the house. You couldn't even see that. Everything was orange. The trees were like bent half over. Yeah, so that was really, really interesting to go through. And we're still vacuuming up all the dust and everything from that. So, but that's all good. But otherwise for me, it's just work and stitching. Nothing else really exciting. Yeah, nothing really much else to say except for I hope you have a very productive June. I plan on having a very productive June. Now that I've got a couple of finishes done and I'm onto some new stitches, which is very exciting. I have a plan for Winter White Santa, but as I said, I would be very, very interested in, for those of you that stitch Mirabilias, what your plan, do you have a plan when you stitch Mirabilias? How do you go about it? That sort of thing. He only has a tiny little bit of skin on his face. I'm not doing that 1/1. I'm just going to stitch it as per the chart. I think those of you that stitch 1/1 skin, especially on those mermaids and those other ladies that have loads of skin, good on, like, kudos to you, because yeah, this one's only got probably about 30 stitches in his face. They're just going to be done full cross. So my plan for the rest of the day today is I've got washing to fold. I've got puppies that this is Monty, my little Monty moo. I've got washing to fold, so I'll do that first, and then I'm going to settle down and I'm going to watch binge today and do stitching. So I've been re-watching Gogglebox Australia. I love that, and Gogglebox UK, love that show. But then I've also got some true crime, and I've got the Great Australian Bake Off and the Great British Bake Off on binge as well, so I can swap around and watch different bits and pieces. But that's my plan for the day. So let me know down in the comments what's your plan for today, Sunday the 1st of June. Let me know your plans. But in the meantime, I hope you have a great stitching month, crafty month, whatever it is you're doing. Stay safe, stay well, happy crafting, and I will catch you next time. See you later. Bye-bye.